Today on the CTV News at 5, university and college students are graduating with alarmingly high debt loads. What does it mean? Plus, we introduce you to a four-legged student graduating from Chinook High. And the Hurricanes have a new look to go with their new coaching staff.
CTV News with Jackie Scantlebury.
Good afternoon. Across southern Alberta, graduation is in full swing. University and college grads are already pounding the pavement in search of jobs, but a warning from financial experts. They say the student debt load is now exceeding $15 billion, and with the threat of rising interest rates, many grads may find themselves struggling to pay back those loans. Terry Vogt reports.
Graduation is a time for celebration, a time to look forward to the future when all the hard work will start paying off. But financial experts are concerned about the increasing number of grads who are crossing the stage with a significant debt load.
I've had a number of people come through my office where the stress of the loans that they've created is part of what's causing mental health issues.
University of Lethbridge psychology student January Emshie isn't at that point, but she does wonder about the future.
I had my first year paid for by scholarships, but all the rest have been on student loans, and it's about 40 grand already, so it's going to be hard to start off for sure.
It's just tough because I don't know how I'm going to pay it all back before I get like a real job.
For Hannah Hattie hopes to teach school someday, but an unexpected part of her education degree has been a lesson in economics. According to the Canadian Federation of Students, the federal student debt is climbing at a rate of about $1 million per day. The class of 2013 is likely burdened with one of the highest debt loads in history.
It's a big number. It's a growing number. We're a growing population, granted, but at the same time, it's a number that, should we be stopping and taking notice? Yes. Will it maybe affect where people work and their ability to deal with it? Yes.
It basically feels like I'm going to be starting off continuing to live like a student, everything's cheap, go the cheapest rent route and all that. I can't really start life until I get past this debt.
Most students take 10 years to pay off their loans after school, but many also take out lines of credit or pile on credit card debt in order to complete their education. Experts say students should start planning and thinking about debt long before they ever get to college or university. Terry Vogt, CTV News, Lethbridge.
Students and new graduates concerned about their debt loads are advised to seek financial counseling. Debt and credit counseling is available through a number of organizations. You can get more information by going to the website of Personal Bankruptcy Canada at personalbankruptcycanada.ca. Now, a surge in the number of duplexes and townhomes being built in Lethbridge led to a 17% increase in new construction activity last month. The new housing market has remained stable over the first 5 months of 2013. The number of single-family starts was down slightly in May, but there was an impressive jump in multifamily units, with 45 more starts compared with last year. The Canadian Home Builders Association says the increase in multifamily construction seems to be a national trend.
Net migration patterns are increasing into our area as well, so that tends to bring more multifamily requirements. And as well, there is a very slight but steady increase in the mortgage rates, and so that might be changing consumer confidence and wanting a little bit of a more affordable housing for first-time home buyers particularly.
The Canadian Mortgage and Housing Corporation says the job market is expected to gain momentum, and that is expected to lead to a greater demand for home sales, new home construction in later of this year and then into early 2014. Alberta's Deputy Premier says the government is taking a look at the STEP program in light of concerns raised by not-for-profit agencies. The summer temporary employment program has been suspended indefinitely. The result was that many southern Alberta communities and non-for-profit groups were forced to cut summer or part-time positions. During cabinet meetings in Lethbridge this week, though, Deputy Premier Thomas Lukaszuk said there was no need for incentives in the business sector, but the government is looking at ways to support non-for-profit agencies.
students can gain very valuable experience, corporate experience in non-for-profit agencies. As a matter of fact, I always advocate that we stop calling them non-for-profit because they deliver invaluable profit to our province, and as such, that is one segment of employers that we will be looking at closer.
Now, a spokesperson for the Human Resources Services Minister says they're working with other ministries to determine how they can address the needs of the nonprofit and voluntary sectors. Stakeholder consultations are expected to start this summer to identify new approaches for planning and decision making. Well, it's not going to be quite summer weather. We still are on track for a nice sunny weekend, Dory.
Yeah, we really are, Jackie. We've got an area of high pressure that's struggling for dominance. It's not really dominating right now, but it will be as we head into the weekend. Have a couple of low pressure centers affecting Alberta and BC, but the main one that affected southeast corner of our province yesterday is really affecting Saskatchewan, right along the border, almost all of western Saskatchewan. So we'll talk about that in a couple of minutes.
All right, thanks, Dory. Well, just a month after being charged, a trial date has already been set for a Lethbridge massage therapist accused of sexually assaulting a client. 43-year-old Darren Hutchison was charged last month after a female client filed a complaint with police. Hutchison has pleaded not guilty to one count of sexual assault. He'll stand trial on November the 12th. And a Lethbridge man will spend the next 2 years in jail for sexually assaulting a toddler. Police say the man was at a South Side home. While people were visiting upstairs, he slipped into a bedroom and assaulted a 3-year-old girl. 23-year-old Joseph Cecil Tallow was sentenced to 2 years behind bars. A 15-year-old Fort Macleod youth found guilty of assault with a weapon and arson will be on probation for the next 2 years. Police say in March of 2012, the teen, who was just 13, beat a sleeping 17-year-old boy with a baseball bat after an argument over a video game. The youth then set fire to the family home where 4 people were sleeping and watched from across the street. The 17-year-old who was injured was airlifted to Calgary with life-threatening injuries, but has since made a full recovery. The assault with a weapon charge was substituted in for one of attempted murder last month. Well, if you're interested in getting into city politics, election packages are now available at City Hall. Come October 21st, voters will be casting ballots for mayor, 8 councillor positions, 7 trustee spots with the public school district, and then 5 trustee positions with the Holy Spirit Catholic School Division. Nomination day, September 23rd. The term of office is now 4 years. Candidate information packages can be picked up at the 2nd floor of City Hall, or you can find out more information on the City of Lethbridge's website. The meatpacking plant at the center of the country's largest beef recall in history is back running at full capacity. The XL Foods plant in Brooks was shut down last fall for a month because of E. coli concerns. The plant was then bought by a Brazilian company, JBS Foods. The facility is back up to processing 4,000 head of cattle a day. 30 new inspectors have been brought in since the E. coli outbreak to better monitor plant conditions. University of Lethbridge officials say it's still going to be a week or more before they know the exact damage of buildings by rushing floodwaters. A broken water main was behind the wreck that sent water pouring into the library, then the Center for the Arts, and finally parts of University Hall. Over 400 machines were brought in to start the drying process. The water was stopped quickly, but the damage was already done. High school graduation is just around the corner, and it's got many grade 12 students feeling excited and anxious. But as Jeanette Rocher reports, one student at Chinook High is ready to put her best paw forwards.
Downstairs. Wait. Go, girl.
It's not something you see every day. A dog walking through the halls of a high school campus. This is Gracie. She's not a pet, she's a student. And she's walked these halls for nearly her entire life. But she's not here to learn reading, writing, and arithmetic. Sitting, stopping, and yielding on command is her major.
Sit. Sit. Wait.
It started with an idea in Constable Sean Davis's head to get students involved in training a working dog.
I used to be a canine handler with the police dogs. So when I came to schools, I was thinking of something I can do differently that where I can impact the kids.
A local breeder donated Gracie, and since September, she's quickly become the most popular girl in school.
She does get a lot of attention from all the kids. She's a really fun dog, and the year has been better just because she's been here.
All year, a group of student volunteers have been tutoring Gracie, preparing her for the world of work.
There's no better place to socialize a working dog than in a building with 1,100 students. Every noise, every distraction, imaginable food on the floor.
She's been a fabulous addition to the school, not only for the students, but for the staff. And I think everyone has benefited.
Gracie here is a chocolate lab, a breed that's known for their loyalty and calming nature. Labs are often chosen as service dogs, but Gracie is the first in her family to go through this training. She's now been drafted by Alberta Guide Dogs in Calgary, and if accepted, she'll graduate to post-secondary training where she'll learn to be either a seeing eye dog or autism service dog.
It's good to know that she's going on to the next step and she's going to be able to do something really good.
And as well-mannered as this 10-month-old is, at the end of the day, she reminds us she's still just a pup. Jeanette Rocher, CTV News, Lethbridge.
Gracie will graduate from Chinook High on June 27th along with the rest of her senior class. They plan to have her in cap and gown as she walks across the stage. Time now for a look at the day's markets.